Yo guys, what's good? Welcome back to another video. Today you join me at Bayford Meadows for round 6 of the Club 100 Senior Sprints Lightweight Championship. The format of today is 3 heats and a final. Let's go out there and see what I can do. Is that tough? Yo guys, what's good? Welcome back. As I mentioned, we are here at Bayford Meadows for Club 100 Senior Sprints. As I explained, the format of today is 3 heats and a final. In Club 100, there's 3 classes of drivers. Class 1, which is your most experienced, mostly seeded drivers from last year. Class 2, which is your mid-pack, still very fast drivers. And Class 3, which is your new drivers to the championship. And unfortunately, I'm in Class 3, and Class 3 drivers are grouped at the back of the grid in each heat race, which means that I'll be starting mostly towards the back. My highest starting position is P14. So that's just something that comes with being a new driver to the championship this year. But here we go, let's go into heat 1, starting P14, and let's see what I can do. Here we go then, into the tram lines. Decent launch off the line, sticking to the kart in front. As we go through turn 1 for the first time, absolute chaos up ahead. One driver spun in the middle of the track, I dive to the inside. That's definitely the right move to make, as everyone else goes to the outside, loses a ton of time. So as we go through turn 2 for the first time, up behind Chapman now, up with the C2s and leading C3 at this point. And I try to go around the outside of hairpin 1 that then becomes the inside for hairpin 2. Push this driver forward, but all sort of Constantine is up and they go 3 wide. So switch back that guy, follow Chapman through, and now I just want to stick to the back of Chapman as close as possible. And as we go through turn 6, space opens up and the driver on the outside loses the momentum, so then I get the position for free. As now we've got Toby McAllister Brown up ahead of us. Chapman sneaks it around the outside. Good move there. Definitely should have tried to follow through on that. And headed on to the main straight now. I knew that I just wanted to send it today, so I get a nice slipstream up to turn 1 and I go up the inside. Quite narrow, but up the inside. Use all the track width on exit. See that he's there with a better run than me on the exit, so I cover it off. Really nice defense, great on the brakes. A little bit deep into turn 2, but that's all good. I covered it off, kept the momentum going around the outside. And you can see I'm right with this big group now of C2s and C1s. So looking to go forward in this race. I knew that I had the pace. As we're going 3 wide through turn number 5, running up to turn 6. Great overtaking spot here. It all sort of Constantine is up, there's not much space for me. I get on the ungrippy part of the track and McAllister Brown goes back through around the outside. Virtue of me running a little bit wide, so that was definitely a mistake on my part. Should have just kept it a little bit tighter, but I didn't really know where the grip was and wasn't on the day. So here we go again, running round onto the main straight. Northcott there ahead of McAllister Brown. Try and push McAllister Brown forward. But this is a really good start to the race. Pace was definitely there. Definitely had a good engine underneath me as well, but I was feeling confident at this point. Track was super grippy, and yeah, Bayford's quite a technical track. Lots of slow corners, like this hairpin section. It goes left, right, left, so it's quite technical. Oops, accidentally bumped McAllister Brown there. Didn't really do him any harm. But as we go up to turn 6 one more time, I see my opportunity. I sent it up the inside. A little bit of side-by-side contact, wasn't intentional, sorry, just lost a little bit of grip. But I'm back through. I knew that I had the pace. I really did not want to be hanging around in this race, so I needed to figure out where the good overtaking spots were on the day as well. Obviously, each group of drivers is going to be completely different. As you can see, look how much I pulled to the back of that group there under braking. Get a little bit worse exit, but here we go. Everyone's scrapping in front. You can still see the leaders in the front of the pack only a couple of seconds down the road, so considering I started P14, this is definitely not a bad position to be in at all, as I'm sitting P10 now, so it's always good. As we go through hairpin number 2, could have sent it up the inside of Northcott there, but then I would have been on the outside. Decided to send it at turn 5, but they're 3 wide. LeCastro on his outside meant that he didn't really have any room, so sort of helped him because then he didn't run wide. And LeCastro, questionable defense there, very questionable defense there, going through the double right-hander, but that caused me to lose loads of momentum, and now McAllister Brown once again gets round my outside. So that was quite unfortunate there, just wrong place, wrong time, and definitely a questionable defence. And somehow I got a contact warning for that, but yeah, pretty annoying considering I had loads of pace in this race, and I just couldn't really find the opportunities that I needed to get higher up in the field. Even if I overtook this group of drivers, I would have been up to like P5. That would have been absolutely mega for my points going into the final later on, but it wasn't meant to be. That was the end of the drama of this race. Good first heat though. I felt good. I knew that I had pace, so yeah, in the end, P11 finish, not terrible. I was the highest C3 in this race. So let's go on to heat number 2 now. Here we go into heat number 2, starting P19 and last on this grid, courtesy of being C3 and it's just random grids. So running up to the line, get a terrible acceleration off the line, so I'm really far back, already a kart length or 2 off the back of the pack, and I wanted to go a bit more passive on this race start considering there was quite a lot of chaos in turn 1, heat 1. So I went too passive definitely and lost a bit of time, but as everyone, Constantine is up at hairpin 1 again I go for the outside, definitely the way to go because then it becomes the inside, but unfortunately this driver in the white just completely runs me wide as I don't really have any overlap anyway, and so I'm still last. Went for a bit of a desperate move here through turn 5, had no momentum, had to back out of it, and so still sitting last. This is not where I wanted to be at the, halfway through lap 1, but yeah, space opens up on the inside of turn number 7 again, but just didn't have the drive around the outside, and I knew we were literally last and second last, so there's no point fighting it and creating any sort of more time loss. Onto the main straight a few laps later then, closed the gap a little bit. Driver in grey, two karts ahead, goes really wide and just lost all of his momentum, so that allowed me to slip up the inside. Nicely done through turn 2. It's my first position gained in this race. A few laps later then, we've caught up to the next group of karts as I get a really nice drive out of hairpin 1, stick to the inside at hairpin 2, go up the inside, but the driver in front all out of shape. But I perform a lovely double switch back as I knew that there was just going to be 2 drivers there and they would just take each other wide. So pin it close to the inside at turn 6 and get the move done. So that's 2 for the price of 1. Can't complain as I've wasted a lot of time in this race just being at the back. So it was good. I'm up 4 positions now into P15 and looking to close in on this driver in the red. Here we go then, 1 lap later I've caught up to the driver in front. Gets all sorts of sideways at hairpin 2, goes wide at turn 5, and there's just enough of a gap for me to go through. He gets a bit of a drive around the outside, but I'm on the inside for turn 6, so get the move done, and that's me up another position into P14 now. Unfortunately, the rest of the pack was a bit too far ahead in the amount of time that I had left, only about a minute on the clock. So this is where I finished, P14 overall. Not bad, but definitely could have been better again, like in race 1. So let's go on to heat 3, our third and final heat of the day, which will then set the grid for the finals. Here we go then into heat number 3, starting P14, as we're slowly coming into the tram lines now. There we go then, lights go green, get really poor acceleration once again, so I'm dropped down to P17 before even the first corner. Tried to hold it around the outside, see if I can have the momentum to then claw some positions back. As we go through turn 2, it all gets a little bit scrappy with 3 wide through the exit of turn 2. Just trying to keep the momentum going. Holding it to the outside of hairpin 1, following this driver in the blue. Go up the inside of the guy who's alongside me and try and stick it on the inside of hairpin 2, but that was definitely not the right place to be. Again, holding it around the outside at turn number 5, as I've seen a lot of drivers do on me. Slightly too wide through turn number 6 as well, which then lets this driver in the grey through. So not a great race start at all. Probably negated the poor acceleration a little bit, but yeah, not a great race start. Coming onto the mini back straight here, running up to turn 6. The driver in the blue goes very wide there, as I think he has to try and avoid another car in front, but that gives me a free position. as I said before, that outside of turn number 6 is just super slippery and you just have no grip out there, no rotation at all. So free position for me. Up to turn 2 on the next lap, quite early on the brakes. I don't know why my braking got earlier throughout the day, but the driver in front's all out of shape. Right behind him through up to hairpin 1. He points me through actually, which is quite bizarre. I wouldn't be doing that, but I was not going to pass up on the opportunity, so free position there. Now getting up behind the driver in the grey, who had loads of pace in this race. So I need to try and close up to this group and try and follow him through if possible. Out of the final corner, a few laps later then, right in the slipstream, pull out to the inside, again go quite narrow, similar to heat 1, get the move done, cover it off nicely on exit. But into turn 2 I go a little bit deep on the brakes and the driver gets his switch back on me, so that was pretty unfortunate. We lost loads of time to the carts in front, but I knew that for the next lap I just needed to get the move done a little bit cleaner. So this time around then, 1 lap later, we've run out of the final corner, much closer to the driver in front this time. Look at that slipstream, amazing. So I pin him to the outside this time, don't go as narrow, hold my momentum round, and I'm able to get the move done before we even get to turn 2. Nicely done. Late on the brakes, nice on the brakes, hold off the move, keep the momentum going around the outside, and now I'm up to P13 I believe. Could have been higher. Look at this group in front again, huge group, probably going up to like P5 or something. So that is where I end up finishing in this race, P13. Not where I would have wanted to be, could have been a lot higher as I said, but that's where I finished nonetheless. And so on points going into the final, that puts me starting P4 in the C final. So let's go on to the final now and see what I can do. Here we go then, in the C final, starting P4 on the outside again. Into the tram lines we go, get a really good launch. My side of the grid doesn't get a great launch, but at least I wasn't too far off the car in front this time. We have good momentum going around turn 1 as the driver in P2 gets a really nice line there, and I'm contesting for P3 momentarily, but then courtesy of being on the outside, this guy in front is just able to hold it. So I slot into P4 where I started. Good start overall, and now I'm just looking to stick with them. At this time I also thought there was top 4 get promoted into the B. My mistake is actually top 2. So I thought I was safe here, but it turns out I was not. So I definitely have to do some work to go forward if I wanted to get into the B final. But now, as you can see, only a few corners later, look at the gap that they've pulled, right? And I've barely made any mistakes, driving the same line as them. And I hope this doesn't become a recurring theme, but if you remember my video at Rissington a few months ago in juniors, in both of the races, pre-final and final, my car was definitely underpowered, and I mean I didn't realise it at the time, and even in this race I didn't realise it now. I just thought I was off the pace, but you can see that as soon as we get to a straight, they're just pulling away from me massively, and I think it was my low end speed that was definitely lacking out of the corners. And since Bayford's quite technical, then it put me at quite a big disadvantage. So each lap they were just pulling away from me more and more, and I was hoping they would start fighting and then hopefully I'll be able to close back up, but it seemed that I just didn't have the car underneath me. But I didn't really know that at the time, and I didn't let that get to me at all. I just kept driving the best laps I could to see what I could get out of it. Obviously it being the final race and the race that counts the most, there's no point complaining about it or anything. So a couple of laps later then, going up to turn 1, there's a driver right behind me, and as I go to the outside, he just nicely gets the move done on the inside. Clean move, and I didn't fight him. He points forward, he wants to work forward. He's clearly got the pace in this race, and so my thoughts at this moment was just to stay in his toe and just work with him to try and catch up to the leading group, and then hopefully capitalise on the situation later on in the race. But as you can see, within a matter of corners, he just dropped me completely, and I'm literally on the exact same line as him, so I'm not sure at all why he dropped me. Could have been kart, could have been me, but yeah, he just drops me so much within 1 lap, so immediately, again, I'm stuck in no man's land. towards the end of the race now, you can see that the gap to the guys in front has opened up hugely, and as I go through hairpin 2, this driver in the blue helmet just goes up my inside there. Clean move. Tried to get the switch back on him, but I had a bit too much overlap again. He gets to drive out the corner, and now I just tuck in behind him. I don't really know what I could do at this point in the race except just tuck in behind. There was no point fighting it. I didn't want to bring the drivers behind into the fight as well. So again, you can just see he's driving away from me seemingly over nothing. But yeah, in the end, that's where I finished, P6 overall. To be honest, the result here at Bayford is much better than my first sprints round at Wilton, so I am fairly happy with the result, even though it's not where I wanted to be, not as high up as I wanted to be. Ideally would have wanted to be in the B final, but a good result nonetheless. I didn't go backwards in any of my heat races, so these are the only 2 positions that I lost all day. So it's not a bad result at all if you think about it. And it only being my second event and not being in a kart for 2 months, it's not terrible whatsoever. So hopefully next year I'll be able to do a full campaign in this championship, or at least consistent rounds, and then I'll be able to continue to improve my driving. Next video will most likely be in October, as I'm competing in Karun Chandok's Team Endurance charity event. Can't leak my team yet, but that's going to be a really exciting event, and there's quite a lot of racing, so hopefully I can make a really good team endurance video for you guys, so definitely stay tuned for that. So thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already to see upcoming content, and don't forget to check out my Instagram as well for more regular updates, OM karting, and I'll see you in the next one.